Hello friends, welcome back to my channel and today we are going to discuss about this function, this API get served by name, which is a socket API. And before that, I would like to show you something, one file which is available inside this directory. C Windows System 32 drivers etc, and inside the etc you can find out this services file. You can see the host file, network files, protocol files, all these files are there, but there is a services file. So let me open this. I have opened this here in a notepad. So you can see the contents of this file. You can see that there is the name of the service, and in front of the service name there is a port number and the protocol that this service uses. So if you have to communicate to a service, if you are installing any client program on your machine, and if you want to communicate with a server which is running on this machine, so in that case, what will happen, like in this machine or some other machine, if you have to use that particular service, if you have to ping that service, then you need to know about the port number and the service name to which you need to connect. So for that, what you need to do, you just need to uh, find out that what is the port number to which you need to connect, right? So if we are working on the same machine, and if you have to find out the port number where this service is running and to which port I need to connect to, you need to get the contents from here. This is the name of the service. This is basically the display name, but this is the actual name using which it refers to the service, right? This is basically the exe name using which it refers, right? So if you have to find out that what is the port number on which a particular service is running to which your client wants to connect, then in that case we use this function get served by name, right? Rest of the things will be same, like I just need to remove all these things. These are not needed in today's discussion, so I'm just removing them. But this thing is very much needed, like WSA data, and then the result, and you need to just call the WSA startup function. And once you call this startup function, then you have initialized the socket APIs for the Windows environment. And please remember that this call is not needed in case you are writing your application in Unix platform, for the Unix platform. Okay, so let's see that how this get served by name works. So get served by name basically returns a structure. This is the structure. The name is servant, and if you go to the servant, go to the definition, then you can see that it returns the name of the service, it returns the aliases, it returns the port number, and it returns the protocol which it uses. Okay, so all these things, all these things have been mentioned in this services file. So you can understand that this particular structure, when it is returned by the call, which is this get served by name, using this call you can get a servant structure, and using that servant structure you can find out everything that you want, right? Like the service name and the port number to which you want to connect. Okay, so this is the way you can do this. So let me just demo this. So here you can see that I have one service. Let's see that what is the service name. Let's pick one service. Let's pick the telnet. Okay, so this telnet service, let's see the telnet service, and let us pass the protocol which is used by the telnet service, which is the TCP. So once you pass these two things, then you should be able to find out the port where this is running. But before printing the port, I need to convert into host to network short, because this is in the network byte order. And if you will not, I hope you are aware about the network byte order and the normal byte order, big endian and the little endian formats. I have already discussed this in the beginning of the playlist, so you can understand that what is the meaning of the H2NS and why I am using it. The meaning of this is host to network sort, right? If I will not use this, then it will not return me the result that you are able to see here. It will not return me 23, it will return something else, right? So you need to use this H2NS, and let's see what happens now. So it should print 23 because that is the port number. So the port on which it is running, it should show 23. Okay, so you can see that this has been printed here. The port on which it is running is 23. Okay, so let's do one more thing. Let's remove this TCP. Just give the service name. and just pass null here, and let's see what happens. It is just a test case to make it clear to you that what happens in case you pass null. Okay, so here as well you can see that you are able to find out the port number, right? You cannot put both null. Let's see if I put both as null, then what will happen? Okay, so here you can see it has thrown an exception. So it needs at least the name of the service, right? So you now understand what is the use of this get served by name, and even if you don't know the protocol that it uses, you can you can just pass the name of the service, and then you can just find out that on which protocol it is running, on which protocol this service is working, right? So let's assume this one, the SMTP, or let's take some other service. Uh, let's say I have installed the MS SQL Server as well. So let me just use that one. Where is MS SQL Server? MSSNA. Okay, so this is MS SQL Server. Here I want to use it to find out that what is the name of the what is the name of the what is the port number and what is the protocol which it is using. So first let's see if it is able to find out the port correctly or not. Okay, so it is not able to find it out because I think I have provided the space in between. I don't need to provide this. And let's see it again. Okay, so you don't need to provide the space in between. I don't know why space was coming, but you cannot provide a space because this is without the spaces. So this is the name of the exe. This is the name of the exe for this Microsoft SQL Server. So this 1433 has been returned here, right? And if you want to know that what protocol it is using, then you can do one more C out here to find out that. Okay, so here I'm just going to write C out ENDL, the protocol used by the service, the protocol needed to connect to the service. What will be that? So that will be P servant to S protocol. Okay, so let's see what it returns. Okay, so the protocol needed to connect to the service is TCP. So you just need to know the name of the service, and then you can find out the port number where it is running and the protocol using which you can connect or you can communicate with the service, right? So this API is very much useful when you are writing any client code. So normally, now you need to listen it carefully. So normally what happens then, when you are creating any client application for your customers in a professional environment, what we do, we whenever we install any client service, any client application, then in that case what happens that whenever you are setting up the system, then the setup usually creates an entry for the services which your system will support. Here your software setup will create the name of the service and the protocol name and the port number. All those things will be created here automatically by that uh, setup, right? So you need to create a setup in that way if you are setting up a system. Then in that case, if your machine is going to run a client application, so to let that client application know that what service it is going to connect and at what port it is going to connect, using which protocol it is going to connect, you just need to update your services file which is available inside your etc folder. Here you need to update this one. So all these things all are already there in the setup file, the RUL file that you write. I don't know if you are aware about the RUL file, which is a setup file. If you have worked on the Microsoft install shield, not Microsoft install seal, it's install seal software. So if you have worked on the install seal software, then in that case you will be aware like how it is used, how you update the services file. You can write something in the script, and that particular script updates this services file. It creates an entry at the end of the file, right? So erasing and reading the contents of this services file, your client application uses this function get served by name. It gives the name of the service, and it used to find out the port number, and it used to find out the protocol using which it is connecting, and then it calls the socket function, and inside the socket function it passes the appropriate protocol. And after that, when it is running, when it is connecting to the service, it will just use the protocol that has been returned by this call. Okay, so this is the way you should use get served by name, and this API is of very much use when you are writing any client application. So you, in a professional application, client application, you must follow this API, and you must follow the code practice like this only. Okay, so let me know how you got this video useful, and what else in the socket APIs I need to discuss more. Okay, because most of the APIs I have covered, which are very much important, and after that I am planning to have a session on UDP based client server connection, right? So before that, you have a week's time. After a week, I will start putting the client and server programs on the UDP protocol. Okay, user datagram protocol based client and service applications. So before that, I will keep updating other playlists like algorithms and other things. So meanwhile, you can just let me know that if anything else you want me to discuss, any other API you want me to discuss before I move ahead with the other UDP based application demo. Okay, so have a nice day. Bye bye, and please like, share, subscribe my channel, and share the videos with others.